Alhamdulillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayh wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlilhu fala hadiya lahu asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh sallallahu alaihi wasallam tabaraka wa sallama tasliman kasira amma ba'd. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa man ahsanu qawlan mimman da'a ila Allah wa amila salihan wa qala innani minal muslimin. My dear brothers and sisters and respected elders, we are to live here in this world for a short time. No one else, no one ever live in this world forever. Everyone will have to die or to meet his doom. His death means his doom, and to go to the life in the hereafter. So that is the truth, and that is the truth which cannot be denied by anyone. You can ask anyone in this world as to whether he will die or not. He will say yes. And Allah says, the moment when the soul is about to come out from his body, and the people around him is saying, is there any magician that can cure him? What does it mean when Allah narrating the incidents of the time of death, when the ruh is about to come out, and the person around him is saying, is there any magician who is able to cure him? What does it mean?
It is impossible.
Is there any magician? A normal doctor will not be able to do it. But probably a magician. But no magician, either doctor or the magician, or neither the doctor nor the magician will be able to stop. And the person who owns the roh or the soul will never be able to stop it. Why? Why, Samad? Why? Why he cannot stop it? The ruh from being taken out or snatched from it? Simply because the ruh doesn't belong to him. Isn't it? You don't know this, but when I give you the answer, yeah. Because the ruh doesn't belong to him, it belongs to Allah. So that's why no one can stop it. When the ruh is taken, when Yazid is about to get married, at that time, tomorrow the nikah will be done or solemnized. But his death has come one day before.
Means
he would like to live at least to his marriage, and then a few nights of sex, then only he would like to die, isn't it? But when Allah has decided for the ruh to come out on that day, Yazid cannot stop it. It has to be taken out. And you have heard many incidents when, They died just after being solemnized their marriage. They make a marriage between him and her wife is in Australia. The nikah has been performed. On the way home, he died. Accident. It's a true story. I'm not mentioning. I think a friend of Rashidi, isn't it? No. Someone told me. Because intercontinental marriage by phone. So surely that person would like to live a little more months, isn't it? Until he met his wife and then having few nights. Even then he will regret also. He would like more, but you have no choice. When the roh is about to come up, we have no power. Neither us nor the people who are around us able to stop. So that's why the person around the one who is about to die say, is there any magician to cure him? Magician also will not be able to do it. Samad, he would like to live a little bit more years, isn't it, Samad? He wants to become professor. But we never know whether he will be able to realize his ambitions when Allah made him to die before he being awarded the professorship. So what happened to Professor Associate Professor Samad when he died? Prior to that time, he surely would not like to die. He said, "Oh God, oh Allah, delayed it. Make it a little more." Surely he will put a request, but his request will not be accepted. Why? Because the roh doesn't belong to you, to the person. The roh belongs to Allah. He has to return to the giver. So the roh which is in Sufyan belongs to Allah, not belong to Sufyan. Sufyan has no power to stop that roh from being enacted, from being snatched. So it depends on how the iman and the person is. Either is a good person or evil person. That will influence the way the soul will be snatched from him. If Sufyan is evil person, then the roh will be snatched from his leg. A normal way of snatching the roh is from the head. But very evil person will be snatched from the leg. Very painful. Very painful. So at the time of death, pain after pain, struck him. And he knows, the person who is about to die knows that the time of parting has already come. Now, because the shock of pain of the death striking him one after the other, then he knows the time of parting is near. The time to return to his Lord has reached, and the time to receive the punishment of Allah has already come. So this is what has been mentioned in the Quran. So you are punished, Allah says, in the hellfire because you do not believe in Allah, do not believe in Messenger of Allah, do not believe on the Day of Judgment. You know, for those who denied the Quran, they will be put in a special hellfire. They call the hellfire of Sakar. Even the angels were asking him, what evils did you have done in this world, in the world, which has made you to be thrown into this fire, hellfire of Sakar? Wondering. He was a very terrible. A person who is thrown to the hellfire of Sakar is the most greatest calamities has befallen upon him. Anybody who will be thrown into the hellfire of Sakar is the one whom Allah has made the worst calamities to befall upon him. And what are the evils that they have done? Samad?
Changing the words of Allah.
He denied the Quran. He do not believe that the Quran is a book of Allah. You know, so those people who do not believe the Quran is the words of Allah, who have denied the Quran, will be thrown into the hellfire of Sakar. So, punishment of Allah is awaiting those who neglect the preparation of the hereafter, who indulge themselves in this worldly life purely to fulfill his or her whims and desires. Naturally, if you have, you are indulged or fully occupied in fulfilling your desires, your whims, your fancies, naturally you will not ever think and ponder as to whether I'm on the correct path or not. I have no time. And those who are indulging themselves excessively or indulging themselves purely and solely to attain the pleasures and of this worldly life will naturally have no time to think and ponder as to whether he is on the correct or on the wrong path. They never think about it. So if you want to think about whether you are on the correct or the wrong path, you must have time. You should not become a person who indulge in worldly pleasures. You must deny these worldly pleasures as purely temptations, something that is alluring, something which is deceiving you. You should not be deceived by this worldly pleasure. If you do, then you will have no time to think as to whether you are treading the correct path or the wrong path. You may listen to lecture, but you never think about it, because your whole desire is to get and attain the pleasures of this worldly life. That's why those who are involved in worldly pleasures, in indulging themselves in worldly pursuit, is usually a person will end up to be in hellfire. You cannot be in paradise because you have no time. Even thinking and pondering as to whether I am on the correct path or not. You are busy, because once you are on that path of trying to attain the pleasure of this world, you are basically engrossed yourself. You somehow being blinded by the temptations of this worldly life, and you do not see the roads, the path to attain salvations. So, in order for us to have time to think about as to whether we are on the correct path or not, you have to get yourself away from that lifestyle. You have to get yourself away from that lifestyle of pursuing the pleasures of this world. So at this time of COVID-19 is a good time, because you probably have less money, you probably have lost your job, you probably have lost many things. But instead of thinking as to whether I'm on the wrong path or on the correct path, they go into depressions, and they go into mental illness, and finally take their life in the wrong way. Even Allah give them this COVID-19 so that you withdraw yourself from seeking the pleasures of this worldly life. How to attain worldly life? You got no money during this COVID, you got no job. You should use this time to ponder and to think, am I on the correct path or on the wrong path? You never think of it. As a result of not thinking whether I'm on the wrong path on the correct path, you keep on blaming. Instead of blaming yourself, you blame the conditions. You blame why I lost my money, why I lost my job, why. Then you go into mental illness. You should not blame. You should blame yourself. This tragedy, this condition has been made to fall on you because of your wrong deeds. This disease, COVID-19 or anything, inconveniences of worldly life is made to fall on us because of our wrongdoing. Takes time to think about this. If you have anxiety, depression, it's not because of good deeds. You are made to have depression, anxiety because of your wrong deeds. You are all the while in the wrong path. You are not in the true path. You can never be. If you are in the correct path, you surely will have peace and tranquility. But when we have sadness, unhappiness, then we start to blame the condition instead of blaming ourselves. We never want to blame ourselves. We always blame others or the condition, why this has happened. Then we finally stuck with no answer, and we are having only one answer: I better die. So that's why there are many people who are committing suicides in times of depression, anxiety, as during this COVID-19. Why so many people kill themselves? Because they end up they do not find the answer. The answer as to why calamities has fallen on them. Has fallen on them. They never want to know. Calamity and all this suffering, diseases has made to fall on us only because of our wrong actions. We must come to the conclusion that the one who makes us to have sadness, unhappiness, anxiety is none other than Allah. Why Allah has given us all this anxiety, unhappiness, is only because Allah wants us to withdraw from indulging ourselves in these worldly pleasures, which we have done all this while, which make us unable to ponder and to think as to why I am being. Either I am on the correct path or on the wrong path. You never got time. In order to think whether you are in the wrong path or not, you have to withdraw yourself from this worldly pleasure. If you keep on indulging on it, you will not have time at all to think. As a result, you will proceed all the way on the wrong path. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to remind us, to make us to think, because people who don't think, they will never have a solution to their problem. They must think. Someone who is busy, today I'm going for birthday party, another one tomorrow. In the birthday party, I'll be having wine stirring, I will have free sex. Tomorrow, next night, next weekend. How he will be able to think? He will never think. So as a result, he will be on the wrong path and thrown into the hellfire. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do not want us to be thrown in the hellfire. That's why Allah, make all this situation and condition to happen on us, so that we will withdraw from seeking this worldly pleasure, like during this Covid-19. This Covid-19 is given to us for enabling us to withdraw ourselves from this worldly pleasure, so that we'll have time to think as to whether I'm on the correct path or on the wrong path. I'm just helping you to be on the correct path by telling you why Allah has made this happen to you. It's for you to think, so that you got time to think. You have no time to think all this while. You have no time to ponder for all this while as to why. As either you are in the correct path, in the wrong path. When nobody and when anybody not thinking, then how could he will find the true path? He is not thinking at all. Whether I'm on the correct path or on the wrong path. Why? Because he's indulging himself solely in the pursuits of worldly pleasure. He thought, this is the world, this is the end, this is the life. There's no other life beside this life. Those who indulging themselves in worldly pleasure, they don't believe in the hereafter. They don't. Why? Because that's why they indulge themselves with worldly pleasure. Because they don't believe in the hereafter. They thought only this life, none other than this life. That is wrong. Allah wants to tell them that there is a life, and how He will ponder. Who make me? Allah make them to think. Who make me to have this suffering, anxiety, hardship? Allah is making you for your own good, so that you got time to think. All this while you are not thinking at all. That's why this COVID has been sent. Not only COVID, but the whole world now, COVID, so that the whole world will start withdrawing themselves from seeking worldly pleasure, so that they got time to think, am I on the correct path? After thinking, then there will be some solution to it. I'm telling you the reason as we are having all this hardship, suffering, and that is because of our wrong deeds, our own wrongdoings. Allah will not give us any punishment, even in this world, neither in this world, except because of our wrong deeds. If we are doing a good deeds, then calamities will never be fallen on you. Calamities will not be made to fall on you. You will have peace, in tranquility in this world. How Allah will give you anxiety, unhappiness, sadness, if you have good deeds? Cannot. This is completely incompatible. So you must think, am I now on the wrong path? Where is the correct path? Then Allah, when you keep on asking, then you pray, oh Allah, show me the correct path. Then Allah will guide you. Because without asking, how He will guide you? You don't have even interest, the desire to follow the correct path. How will you be shown? You must pray and ask Allah to guide you. There is one patient of mine. the husband, his husband, her husband, he's been suffering from mental illness. He lived here in Malaysia for nearly 16 years. Having to go every month to mental hospital in Kuantan hospital, mental unit clinic in hospital Kuantan. I'm not telling lies. The husband was so much in great anxiety, that is there any cure for my wife? So he said, I prayed Allah, asking him. Then I opened the internet and I saw the website of Dr. Nasoha. Then I called him, make an appointment. Now he's cured with only one treatment. I personally went to met her, to make sure is it true that he's really cured after only one visit. I went there and I saw she really cured until today. After so many years, treatment already 5, 6, 7 years. So when we ask Allah, cried, naturally Allah will give us the way, the means. But we are not even asking Allah. Why? We are not even thinking. Because why? We are indulging, engrossing ourselves fully and totally to seek the worldly pleasure. And this is the reason as why we are misguided. We should not behave like this as we usually have done in the past. This COVID-19 is a mercy from Allah. It's a blessing to enable us to withdraw from that habit of seeking this worldly pleasure. Allah made us to lose our job, to have no money, which made us in the past to indulge ourselves, engross ourselves totally to the pursuit of worldly pleasure. Now we have to stay back at home, but make use of that time to think why this has happened to me. This is because of my wrong deeds, not because of good deeds. Good deeds doesn't go with hardship and suffering. Good deeds goes with pleasure, peace and happiness in this world and hereafter. If you are a person of having good deeds, Allah will give you health in this world. Not only peace and you have no sickness, almost. The more you have faith towards Allah, the better your deeds, the healthier you become. Not the more disease you will have. All the disease which has been given to us is as a kafara or as a means to eliminate our sins. If we ever to bear the sickness with patience. So, the solution to all our problems, either in this world or in the hereafter, nothing else, except to have good deeds. And good deed doesn't come easily as is said. You need to have first the strong faith in Allah. And the strong faith towards Allah doesn't come easily as it is said. To obtain money also not easy. What more to obtain something which was the value of Iman, even as small as Zara, is paradise, 10 times this world. How could to attain Iman will be something which doesn't require any effort at all. Even to attain money, having to have house, car, you need money, you need to work. But all these things are perishable, will never be everlasting. But to have Iman, to have paradise, something which is everlasting, this is the most value. What we have, all these 12 have no time to think about this because we are busy indulging ourselves in worldly pursuit. Day in, day out, week in, week out. We have parties here, party there. With that girls there, that girl here, eating, dining, everywhere, as if God is not there, not watching you. God is watching you. Every minute you are doing. You think all the billion of people, each and every one of this 1 billion, 7 billion people in this world, Allah is watching them, each one. Can never escape. So if you behave abnormally, or if you behave wildly or evil, you will get the consequences even in this world. Because to remind you, if you are not being made to suffer due to your wrong deeds which you have committed in this world, then you will not be reminded. Then you will be all the way to hellfire. Allah loves us. He gives us this COVID-19. He gives us many other things in order for us to withdraw ourselves from having to seek this worldly pleasure. Why? So that we can think. And when we think, then we will be making prayer. Then we will be guided. Then when we make the efforts, For example, if you are asking Allah, Allah may guide you to listen to my lecture. Allah may guide you to read to my Quran. Allah may guide you to do the work which I proposed in my lecture and also in my Quran. That the work to seek Allah's pleasure, to make you as a lover, is the work of inviting people to Allah. And how to do it has been shown also in my blog. You can come here into Malaysia if you are capable to do it, and learn personally. And when you able to do that, then you are from wrong path, you go to the true path days before your death. If you are not reminded, then you only know when you go to the hellfire. There is no use. It's too late. So you have to be reminded in this way. In order to remind us, Allah give us calamities, suffering, so that we withdraw ourselves from giving times solely for this, seeking this worldly pleasure, to the time of thinking and pondering as to whether I'm on the correct path or on the wrong path. Allah is most merciful, compassionate. He loves us. He wants us to be guided. Things which seems bad is not bad at all. Behind all this there is a blessing of Allah. If ever Allah do not give us all these calamities, we will never withdraw ourselves at all. We think this is the life. To enjoy myself is the purpose of my life. We are enjoying our life, but now when the COVID come, we got no money. Our aims are already gone to the drain. What left? Nothing. We shouldn't kill ourselves or commit suicide. We should use that time to ponder, to think. Use your mind to think about the Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, to think about our Creator, not to think only about the worldly pleasure. We have no time to think of Allah all this while because we are busy in seeking worldly pleasure. That's why Allah make us to lose our money, to lose our job, so that we have time to think about Allah, to think about the correct path, to pray, to ask Allah, and that is good for us, so that we will be able to attain the true purpose of our life, to become the lover of Allah, so that we will be able to do the correct job prior to our death, not too late. So we must regard all these incidences which has happened to us, either is wrong or good, is come from Allah. So when Allah give us good, then we know it's a consequence of our good. We should make shukr, not proud. We should admit all this come from Allah. As myself, I'm old, 66, but healthy. I'm become healthier day after day, month after month. As my iman and my action increases to become better, my health also become better. And similarly, my soul become better. My action become even better. my ability, capability increase. From not knowing about the Quran, able to interpret the Quran, not able to pray with khusyuk, able to pray with khusyuk. From able to pray with khusyuk, able to pray with tears falling from my eyes. These are not simple improvement. I've never been able to do this in my younger days. As my iman and deeds grow better, my health also become healthier. My jannat will increases day by day as my actions increases to a better level day by day. So my dear brothers, make use this COVID time to think and to ponder that all things which happen to me is due to my own action, either bad or good. The giver, the doer is Allah. Allah is watching me. I must repent, I must think and must use my time in this world not to go on seeking worldly pleasures, but to seek the pleasure of Allah. Okay.